I never would have thought that my life would get this bad and I'd be in this position in life and it's like the whole world's against me and I have to stand on my own 2 feet, maintain emotional regulation, have determination, have goals and aspirations to achieve. And it's difficult because as you guys know, there's so many factors that plays a part in life. There's so many things that can go wrong and quite often they do. Quite often the thing that you don't want to happen is the thing that happens, right? And it's absolutely brutal. Sometimes I really do believe that this whole existence was created to torture us. There's too many things that can go wrong. You can be jogging at the park and then you turn the corner and there's like a tree branch sticking out and bow, you cut your thigh and it's like, wow, that hurts, all of a sudden you may have been in a trance of peace. You may have listened to some ambience or some good music or some ASMR. You're in your zone, you're in your zen. And then the next thing you know, boom, pain comes out of nowhere. That's one thing that I notice is that in this world, pain will come out of nowhere and it will come persistently and it will come relentlessly and it will come vigorously. And once pain gets a hold of you, it seems not to want to let you go. That's one thing that I notice as well about this world is whenever something negative happens in your life, it seems to create this cascading event or cascading events, meaning that if you can't even get out your room because you're so depressed and you never had a girl, but now you got to go find a job, now you got to go find your own apartment, now you got to do this, that, or this, and it's like you don't even have experience, and the world is not going to have any type of acceptance towards you the older you get. So you can be a neat. That like I'm living the dangers of being a neat. This is the dangers of being a neat, guys. If the person that's allowing you to neat passes away, then you're going to be thrown out there into the real world homeless. There's nobody's going to take you in. You're a grown man. You're not a female. You can't lift up your skirt. You can't show some skin booty shorts. You can't start an OnlyFans. Like none of that. You're going to have to get out there to the real world that's merciless, that's hard, that's cruel. And when you sit down in that interview, they're going to ask you, well, what were you doing the last couple of years? And if you say, like, I stupidly and foolishly said, oh, just making music and just doing this, like being honest in the interview. Because, like, I'm at the age where I just don't give a fuck. But I know in the next interview I get, I'm going to have to, play it up, right? But it's just so hard for me to just lie. Just like, look, you want to know what, like, why I haven't been working these last couple of years? I'm suffering from depression. I'm stressing. My skin color configuration is a constant reminder that I'm being, oppressed, and I know that may make people mad, but I don't give a fuck. I'm the one that's going through it, I'm in the streets of sci-fi Stalingrad, right? But it's infuriating, man. Earlier, I was at this place or whatever, right? And I see this couple, a young couple or whatever, typical Chad and typical Stacy, and like we're waiting in line. And one thing I can't stand what couples do is then it's like all of a sudden they start hugging each other, like the girl starts like, like hugging him and, and she starts hugging him from behind, and the next thing you know, the line moves, and then now she's in front of him and he's hugging her from behind, and they laugh and they're talking. He kind of pinches her little booty a bit. Like, I'm seeing all this. I'm like, damn, like, why is this happening? Like, why do you feel the need to kiss your girlfriend, grab her ass, and do all this in front of me in a public institution or a public place? Like, why are you doing that? Like, it's just like, why do I have to see that, And it's infuriating. It's infuriating. It is because, and the guy looked young. The guy looked no more older than 23. The girl like around the same age, 23, 24, around that age. And he's in the zenith of his life. He's in the prime of his life. And I'm only watching one chapter of his life. One chapter where he's waiting in line with a cute girl and he's like kissing on her, grabbing her butt, stuff like that. They're all like hugging each other. He may not be with that girl in 10 years from now, or he may be with her from 10 years from now. You never know. But just know, like, this experience that I'm seeing that he's having early in life, that experience is just one notch on his belt. And that's something that I'm seeing and is making me feel a type of way because he has a girl and I don't. And it's a crazy feeling because I don't want to feel that way. I'm not no hater at all. Like I'm really not. Like I don't give a damn what another man got going on. He got a beautiful girl more than me. That's fine. That's fine. But when it's right in front of your face, it makes it hard to try to just avoid it when it's right in front of your face, right? It's one thing when you're neat in your room, when you're isolated from the damn world because outside the room is doom, but it's another thing when it's right in front of your face. Like these people are within arm's reach of you and they're sitting there um, making the love movie like it's Passion Cove back in the days. And if you guys watch HBO back in the days, you know what Passion Cove is, especially if you grew up in the 90s. But it's crazy because that moment that I'm seeing, that guy's probably going to have plenty of experiences of going around the world, going to different places with different girls, dating, kissing, and all that. And when I looked at that, I'm like, see, that's fundamentally and essentially crucial in a man's development. That's why I'm in this position. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm not rich or famous or none of that. Is because I didn't have a woman in my life. But I seen the joy in that young man's eyes. He's holding her, hugging her, kissing on the neck, grabbing her booty a little bit, teasing. And she's looking at him, teasing him with her eyes and, they're hugging and all that. And I'm like, damn, it does make you feel a certain way, bro. It's like, man, how come I can't have a girl do that to me, right? How come I can't have that, And you have to fight those emotions of jealousy and envy, guys. Like, don't be jealous. Never be a hater. Never see somebody, oh, he got it and I don't have it, so I'm going to attack him. I'm going to do something bad towards him. Never be that guy, Just stick to yourself, man. Like, if a girl doesn't want to show you no love and affection personally, there's nothing you can do. You can't make a girl like you. If a girl doesn't like you, there's nothing you can do about it. She's going to like who she likes, just like we like who we like, right? Just point blank, period. And I know it's brutal. I know it's debilitating, and I know it hurts when you don't get the girl that you want, and it hurts when you go out into the real world and you see it. But I guarantee that guy's probably going to be successful. At least more successful than I am. And I look back on this life and I'm like, damn, life is really brutal, man. Life is really merciless. Life is really hard. Like, life doesn't care that you already been through a lot of things in life. Life is still going to attack you. Recently I've been trying to work on the book, and it's hard because I can't focus. I need money to eat, um, I gotta have a place to stay. I don't really have anywhere to stay. I don't really, it's just like, it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm trying to make videos, when I can. It's a difficult life, man. And I was talking to somebody and they told me, man, if anybody deserves to make it, it's you, bro. Like, he was telling me, like, he was listening to my raps and stuff like that and was like, bro, I don't know why you haven't made it yet. Like, there's definitely some demiurge or something messing with you because you can actually rap and you actually are talented. At first, like he said, at first he was listening to me. He thought I was just over exaggerating as most people do. But when he listened to me carefully and he listened to a lot of my other songs and stuff, he was like, nah, bro, you actually got a talent for real. There's no way you should be making these videos and be down and out. He's like, bro, you actually have a talent. Like, you can escape this life and get a beautiful woman and possibly a beautiful wife. But one thing about the black pills, once you know the truth, you can't go back to being a normie. I already know the truth. I already delved, or what's the word? Dwelled in the depths of hell. There we go. I already dwelled in the depths of hell, right? And so I already see what's on the other side. I know women's true nature. I know women only care about looks, And I'm not saying men don't care about looks. Of course, men care about looks, but not to the degree of women. Women take it to another level, right? Like, you have a girl that's a 5 out of 10 that will refuse to date her looks match, which is a 5 out of 10. Hell, it could be a guy that's a 7 out of 10 and she still refuses. Unless the guy's a top Chad or Tyrone, because Chad and Tyrone popped her a few times and, she remembers that, and now she got that gleamy twilight in her eyes, and that's what she wants to happen again, like Prince Charming in the movies. Excuse me, coming over a cold, man. I know the demiurge is always attacking me. I'm the demiurge main target. It seems like, or at least the prioritization is highly on me. But yeah, when you start to reflect on your life as a guy in this position, bro, you really start to just look at all the events in your life and you start to notice that it was orchestrated. It was orchestrated. Like, You can look at the events in all of your life and you'll start to see a pattern. And it was something I really didn't really notice because I didn't go back into my childhood. But when I went back to my childhood and I looked at all the events, even all the events that lead up to now, it's clearly an orchestrated plan and an orchestrated plot in my life to make sure that I'll never get financial stabilization to the point where I get happy, meaning that I'll never get to a position where I can do what I love for a living and not worry about a 9 to 5 job prison. And then you got people talking about, oh, well, just find a job and blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, finding a job is fine. And if you can find a job, then you be happy with it. But not everybody can find a job so easily. I'm looking for a job and we're all looking for jobs in this position that don't have one, but it's extremely difficult and it's extremely hard, right? So a lot of us, we're going to have to be creative and turn our passions and turn our dreams into jobs. So the people saying, oh, you don't have a job, that's not, you're not really working. People only say that whenever you have a small business and it's not generating millions of dollars, but the minute your business starts to generate 50 grand a year, fuck that, 10 grand a month, just like something like these YouTubers are doing, right? Then people start to see it a little differently. The same people talking about you, get a job, 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 job. Now they're the ones looking stupid because you found the way to turn your creative endeavors and your creative passions and your tenacity for creation and innovation. You found the way to make money from that. And a lot of people in this world will never ever make a dollar doing what they love for a living. And to me, that's in itself is torture. That in itself is something that's wrong. We all should get paid to do what we love for a living, because what's the point of living life if you can't do what you want? What's the point of living? What's the point of existence? What's the point of all of this if you can't do what you really want, right? If you have to be trapped, if you have to be in a prison, if you have to be under constant stress and constant depression, if everything you dream of and imagine is just out of reach and you can never have it, if all of your dreams are just so far, above the stars and above the ceiling that you can't have it, there's something is going on with this world, and there's something that's hiding the truth from us, and there's something that doesn't want us to really know the truth. I honestly don't understand how we can be a human race and be in this condition, how people are just so stupid, ignorant, arrogant, racist, tasteless. It's just disgraceful. Because as humanity, we should avoid this insanity. As humanity, we should be going to different colonies and different planets and stars and moons publicly, not privately. I know they got a private space fleet. NASA says one thing and they do another thing, right? They tell you about NASA and then the classified black ops space fleets that they have. They keep that a secret because the free energy technology that they utilize, it can be a revolutionary thing for the public. Meaning that if you have free energy tech, if you have free energy tech that's integrated to society, Nikola Tesla had this, using energy and frequencies, you can have free energy, meaning that nobody has to pay no electric bill. Do you know how much stress that would take off people, right? If the whole area was energized, none of these electric companies and all these companies, they will lose a bit of power, and the elites can't have that, So we're in the matrix of lies. We're in the matrix where it's designed to deceive you. It's designed to break you down. You guys got to stay strong, man. That's one thing I tell people that listen to me, man. You listen to me, man, you got to stay strong, homie. You got to cope when you can cope. You got to try not to just lose hope, and you got to try your best to try to keep your peace and tranquility, because your peace and tranquility is going to give you the ability and the agility to try to escape financial misery, because let me tell you something, man. Listen to me carefully. When you come home from work and you're tired, I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how stressed you are. If you want to write a book, write 4 sentences. You want to make a melody on FL Studio or Ableton, make just one melody. You don't got to finish the beat. Just make a melody. Make a 4-bar loop. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. 4-bar loop. Add some hi-hats, add a clap, add a kick to it, and come back in the morning. A simple little loop, a simple little melody. Just what I'm saying is, or what I'm preaching is, keep working on your craft, because your craft, hopefully will give you the ability to escape the 9 to 5. The ultimate goal is to leave the plantation and to get into a rotation where you can actually feel motivated and invigorated about life. Because what's a life worth living if you're always trapped in an eternal infernal prison? What's the point of this existence if you're always trapped in a situation where you're powerless, where you don't have any, like you don't have anything. You don't have a car, you don't have a job, you don't have a girl, you don't have a family, you don't have a house, you don't have nothing but your voice. That's the situation I'm in right now. All I have is my voice. I'm in a perfect position for somebody can find me who's looking for a talented rapper. They can find me, put me in a position, hey bro, just focus on, hey man, you come stay with me for a couple of months or a little bit, bro. You gotta pay, rent for a little bit, just focus on making music. And when you make it, bro, you'll get me back. And I'll pay the person back. If somebody ever allowed me to go to their spot, make music, and I blow up, the minute I get enough money, bro, I'm paying them back because you helped me in a time of need. And everybody, every rapper, every person in position who got wealthy had help. Bill Gates had help. Elon Musk had help. Hella help. You know, everybody had help in history. Everybody, everyone who was ever great had people around them that were also great. Nobody just stood alone by themselves, not even Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great had Philip of Macedon. And Philip of Macedon, he's the one that kind of reconstituted the army and added, the phalanx and all this, or expanded the phalanx and added more things to the military. And when Alexander the Great got the military, he added more advancements and enhancements. But his father, Philip of Macedon, was the one that was like, taking down like rivalries and other wars and handling stuff and patching up stuff. So even Alexander the Great had help. And then a lot of his generals were some of his father's generals. He had good soldiers. He had good troops. He had people that were brave. He had men under his command that were warriors and that were soldiers. So that can help you on your journey to the top. But for guys like us in this position, bro, it's a lonely road. It's a very lonely road, man, because nobody really wants to help you. That's why anybody and everybody that cash apps me or they PayPal me or whatever, I appreciate them because they're helping me out. They're literally affecting my life to the point where that helps me. That puts me in a good position where I can get food, maybe a little kush, maybe something to keep my mind going so I don't snap and I don't break and I don't fall from this insurmountable pressure that I'm under. Like I'm under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and I've been through a lot of things that I did not deserve to go through in life because I'm sitting here minding my business, not bothering anybody, right? I'm in my own world, my own zone. People choose to click and watch my videos. They choose. It's their decision. Sometimes I do hope there's a judgment from a God and he can play everybody's things, and everybody who did fucked up things towards me can face the judgment for it, honestly. Especially you got family members who despise you and they watch your channel. They watch every video you ever post or watching, spying in the background. It's like, well, really? If you don't like me, why are you here? Isn't that weird? If you don't like something, if you don't like a person's personality, what they talk about, then why are you, not only are you watching their videos, but you're going deep into their content. It's like, it's some type of agent behavior, It's some type of CIA agent, that's designed to find people that know the truth like me, and then the parasite and lock themselves onto us. What's crazy is having a grown man you have never met before be obsessed with you like you're a girl. To me that I've never in my life thought that I'd have stalkers and weirdos and grown men, who are in love with me. I never thought that would happen. It's weird, you know. you know, and it's always European males. It seems like that I've configured because black like guys like us, people my skin color, we won't be doing all that trolling and all. Like we got we some ninjas. We got real things to worry about. And the only type of ninjas that troll, or just like some weirdo nerd, some guy. Oh yeah, I drive a truck for a living, and I got kicked out the military. These type of people. These are weirdos. These are guys who in real life you'll break their nose with a punch, right? But it's a strange world we live in, man. A lot of us, bro, we've been through some things in life, and we're going to keep on going through some things in life, and we're going to keep on soldiering through. That's all we can do, man. But you guys take it easy, man. I'm going through it in life right now, man. Like I'm always going through it. Like it's crazy. Like these videos, I hope one day I can become successful, and I can look back on these videos and be like, damn, I really went through it. I really did the damn thing, man, and I had nothing. I wish I could say that, man, but YouTube is pays pennies on the dollar, so good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like you have to go viral, and the content that I make is not viral content. It's just me just talking about existence, talking about the world. You know, there's plenty of people that make good content like this. You know, talking about loneliness and male isolation. But yeah, that's it. You guys take care. Have a good night. Peace.